Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. I played with some audio settings on the stream, so let me know if anything is too quiet or too loud. I think the background music may be a tad loud, but let me know what you think. I can lower it. So if the background music is too loud, let me know, or if it's too quiet, but I don't think it's too quiet. Anyway, so yeah, audio issues aside, today we're going to be working on continuing that locked cells feature that I was doing, which I will show you in just a second. Basically trying to give the player more agency around how the board size is increased. So today's goal is to change the grow board event to add a new row or new column of locked cells to the board. So yeah, we're gonna check that out and see what that looks like, and then we'll give it, I don't know really what we're gonna do. Probably gonna just be playing around with that, experimenting with it, seeing how it feels. But before I get into it, I want to mention that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting. The playtest just ended this morning, so Alchemortis is no longer available for playtesting, but you can still wishlist it, and there will be future playtests, of course. If you join on Patreon at the sponsor tier for at least 1 month, I will send you a key for the full game when the game releases, and your name will also be listed in the Alchemortis credits, and being a member of either tier will get you 1 week of early access to any future playtests. So check that out if you're interested. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. So if you want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine, check those out. Those are, I think, pretty comprehensive. And you could also join the Discord. The link for that is in the description below. Let's go ahead and see what we're doing. So let me run the game and show you what I've got so far. Hello Emerson, welcome back. Good morning to you. Good morning Clicker Tail. Good morning Ninja Link. Chris, welcome back. Good morning to you. Happy Friday to you as well, Camillo. Good to see you all. This song is hella loud. Okay. Like I said, I messed with some settings. How's that? Is that better? Or is it gotta be lower than that? I can make it lower too if you want it to be lower, but maybe that's all right. Maybe we'll do this. Oops. Okay, hopefully that's fine, but let me know if you want me to turn it down even more. Anyway. It was just drowning you talking, okay. Hello, Sid, welcome, welcome. Yeah, hopefully that background music is, I don't really have a good way of testing it on my end. So, I guess I could, well, at least not while I'm live anyway. Okay, so hopefully that music is fine now. So we've got the, what is it? So we've got the locked cells here, and the locked cells are going to be unlockable by spending some blood. So the board starts off at 3x3, but all the cells on the edge of the board are locked. And then if I give myself some money, would do that. So now I can unlock more cells, and those cells will open up for other cards to be placed. So what's interesting about this is that, you know, I have control if there's a specific card that I want to fit into the board. What I could do is I can just unlock the cells that are necessary for that card. So let's see here. I do this, I do that. Let's say that I had an L-shaped card like this. I can just unlock these three and slot it right there if I wanted to. Or if I had, you know, a 2x1 card, I could do that. Or if I had a 3 or a 1x3 card, I could do that, so on and so forth. So I think that's pretty interesting. Now with the locked cells system here, that is going to need to, well, the grow board event is going to need to change. So I can actually test that out. So if I go here, generate test map, I don't remember what the type is, event type, grow board is 5. So put 5 on there. I think what this is going to do is this is going to just grow the board without locking any cells. Yeah, so it just does that. It preserves the locked cells that already exist, but it grows it in a direction that is not controllable by the player. So I'm thinking, what I'm thinking about doing is making this grow board event, give the player the choice of which direction they want to grow the board in. And yeah, I think that would be fine. Now I'd have to limit it somehow. Obviously, we don't want the player to be able to go super wide this way or super tall. The other option is to allow the player to add individual cells to the board rather than entire rows or columns, but we're going to try adding entire rows or columns first, and then we'll see how that goes. The music is fine now. Good. Okay. Hello, V. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Interesting mechanic. Yeah, I think it is interesting. It should give the player a little bit more agency in the early game. Oh, I forgot to refill my coffee. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna do that real quick. What am I gonna do? Yes. Okay, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're going to change this grow board event to handle growing the board in either a row or a column. How in the world I'm going to do that is a good question that I don't know the answer to. Let's see here. Go to grid.asprite here. I wonder if I just do something like this. Take this, move it over here. Do symmetry. Okay. I don't know, we could do something like that. Maybe not exactly like that, but... we'll give that a shot. Why not? So let me go to my tiles grid tiles rather, setup here. We're gonna add that. Okay. So I'm gonna need to go to my board class here. Let's do something like this. I'm gonna create a new method in here. Let's do public void enable growth selection. And then what we're gonna do is I need to add tiles. Let me think. I need to add tiles around the edge of the board. Oh, you know what? I should probably... This is actually going to be a little bit tricky. But let's just get it working first, then I'll figure out the visuals later. Hello, Anthony. Good to catch you live again. Yeah, welcome back. Always good to see you. So what I need to do is we need to put cells on all sides of the board to indicate that the growth is happening. So for let's do var y equals 0, y is less than board inventory component.dimensions.y. And then we're just going to do -1 here. So we're going to want to do tile map layer dot set cell. I always get confused at how this works. Set cell. Okay. New vector 2, y, or no, -1 and y. 0, new vector 2, this would be, I think it's 2, 1. Is that right? Yeah, 2, 1. And then we're going to do it on the, so this is on the left side, so the left side row, and then we're going to do tile map layer dot set cell board inventory components dot x. Yeah, that works. Okay. And then we need to do it for the top and bottom now. So for var x equals 0, x less than board inventory component dimensions dot x. Okay. -1, y. I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay, so we got this enable growth selection here. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit weird. Grow board container. What I need to do in here is when this is broken, event camera, emit signal crystal broken. So I'm just going to get rid of this for now. I'm going to do this dot get board manager dot get player board dot enable growth selection. And we're just going to see what that does. So essentially what I need to do is I need to have that grow board event enable growth selection on the board. Then I need to handle the input from the board when the growth selection is selected, if that makes sense. And then I'll need to grow the board in response to that and then finish the event. So let's see what happens. Okay, that's a little bit ugly, but it works. It's a little bit ugly, but it works. You know what I might do instead is, instead of just showing the cells here, maybe I'll do like an arrow or something. Could even put the options down here, I suppose. Do I want to do this? I wonder if it would make more sense instead to just, because if I'm growing multiple cells at one time, it might make more sense just to have the cardinal directions as options here. And then just say, hey, do you want to grow the board up, to the right, to the left, or down? That would probably be simpler, actually. Okay. I might have to rethink this whole event then, from the art and the input and everything. Okay, let's actually not do that anymore. Okay, we're not doing that. Grow board container. Yeah, we're probably just going to have to completely rework this, but I'm just going to go ahead and just do this. up button, left button. Actually, let's do down button, left button, right button. This will just be placeholder. Just want to see how it works. Okay. Let's get a reference to all those. Come on, Copilot, help me out. Thank you. Nope. Okay. Left button. Right button. Okay. So up button dot pressed. Vector 2 dot up, vector 2 dot down, vector 2 dot left, and vector 2 dot right. Okay. Private void on grow button pressed, vector 2 direction. We're going to emit signal public delegate void growth direction selected event handler. Vector 2I direction. Okay. Emit signal growth direction selected direction. So now let's go to our grow board event state machine. We're going to get rid of this crystal broken signal. Grow board container dot growth direction selected. On growth direction selected. Private void on growth direction selected, vector 2I direction. Okay, this grow board here is going to need to take a direction as well. And we can just comment that out. Let's pass the direction in here. So I don't really have a concept of shifting the board or adding cells to the left. So, oh, that's going to be a little bit tricky. Grow board to dimensions. Oh, this is going to be tricky. So if I add a column to the left, what I need to do is, because that's going to become the 0 column then, the x equals 0 column, anything that occupies the x equals 0 column currently will need to shift over by 1. So I'm going to need to handle that. How am I going to do that? Copilot, you were with Copilot now? Yeah, I have been for a while, yeah. Welcome back, Kelso. If direction is equal to vector 2I dot left, then we're going to need to, do a bunch of stuff here. So we do need to change the dimensions. So we're going to say how am I going to do this? I'm going to need to get a list of all the cards. So var all cards is equal to get cards on board ordered by priority. Then we're going to want to do this. Var new x is equal to dimensions.x plus mathf.apps direction.x. Var new y. Okay, we're going to do set board dimensions. New vector 2i, new x, new y. So this is going to clear the board. That's going to clear all that stuff. Oh, it needs to preserve the locked cells as well. Var locked cells is equal to get locked grid cells. So I'm going to need to shift over all the locked cells, and I'm also going to need to replace all of the cards. Var, let's do this. Var shift direction is equal to vector 2.0. Direction equals vector 2.left. Shift direction plus equals vector 2.right. I guess I can just do this. Vector 2i, shift direction. Vector 2i dot up. Shift direction plus equals vector 2i dot down. Okay. So now what I need to do, do I have a way to add a locked cell? Lock edge cells. Locked cells union with. Okay. Let's do this. Old locked cells. Okay, so we're going to do this. For each, let's do var I equals 0. I is less than old locked cells dot length. I plus plus. Set board dimensions. I don't know. There's a lot of state that I need to manage in here. Let's do this. Locked cells dot clear. Okay. Locked cells dot add old locked cells I plus shift direction. Use of unassigned local variable. Oh. Okay. And then we're going to do for each var card and all cards. I'll just create a new, yeah. Hard top left cells 2 dictionary. Okay, and then in here, what we need to do. So we're gonna do try place card at position, card.key, card.value plus shift direction. And then we need to do emit signal, grid changed, emit signal board state updated. I think board state updated goes first usually. Nope. I think these should probably be merged into one signal because they basically just get called all the time together. How does the system make the board in the first place, and does locked and unlocked cells stored in a 2D array? No, it's stored in hash sets. Hash sets of vector 2. So I just keep a hash set of all of the valid cells and all the unlocked cells or locked cells, and then checking whether a cell is locked or not is just a matter of taking the vector2i and seeing if it's in the hash set. One of the reasons why I'm using a hash set is because it's very easy to do set operations. So if I want to get a set of all of the cells on the board that are empty, then what I can do is I can take the set of all cells, exclude the locked cells, and then exclude the cells that are occupied by cards, and that will give me the empty cells. So I can derive a lot of additional information by just doing set operations on the hash set. That would be a lot harder to do with 2D arrays. It's still possible, obviously, but it's just easier to just say, here's the board dimensions, and here's all the cells, and that's it. Yeah, I'm always ghosting you. You know I'm busy in my game. That never started yet, studying how a game really works. Yeah, I got you. All good, Kelso. Always good to have you at the stream, or in the stream, whatever the preposition is. Hello, Nick. Welcome back. Good morning to you. You may be the most consistent game dev streamer I've ever seen. Well, that's good. I hope so. It's good to have a routine, I think, at least, you know. It pretty much guarantees that I make some progress on my game every day, even if I don't end up working much, you know, later in the day. So it's good. It's good to just make progress every day. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So this grow board container, emit signal growth. So we're going to grow board. Context.playerboard.grow board inventory component.grow board in direction. Okay, let's see what happens. And all of the new cells also need to be locked as well. Okay, so if I grow the board up, there we go. So it shifted those cards down. So because this becomes the new 0y up here, and these were previously placed at a y position of 1, essentially what I needed to do then was to, in here, change the board dimensions with the set board dimensions. This set board dimensions, it actually clears the state of the board as well. So it actually removes cards from the grid. So that's why I needed to store the previous card data and also the previous lock cell data. And then I basically need to just shift all that stuff down if we're growing in the up direction. And I'll need to shift it to the right if we're growing in the left direction. So let's try another one here and see if that works. So if I grow it left, see that shifts everything over like that. And so now the growing up or growing down should be fine, and then growing right should be fine. Okay, cool. So what is that? That's a 6x6 board. Okay, anyway, I still don't know if that's going to be balanced or not, but we'll figure it out. So now all these cells need to be, all of these cells need to be locked. Now here's the thing. I think I basically just need to do another series of if checks here. If direction is equal to vector 2 I dot left. Oh, look at that. Locked cells dot union with get cells in column. Why is it adding true here? What are you doing, Copilot? Locked cells union with get cells in column. Union with get cells in column dimensions.x minus 1. That seems right. What is the, why is it, oh, 2 left? Wait, what? What is this 2 left? I think that's right. Okay, see if that works. I think that's great. Have a chunk of time that's predictable and consistent forward progress. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, let's take a look at this now. So if I go ahead and add a cell or a row up, that adds new locked cells. So yeah, the idea behind the board size is that you're still going to need to spend the blood to unlock the cells. This just gives you more to unlock. That did not work. Get cells in column. Oh. Why is it going up? Wait a minute. Cell to check. What? Oh, this doesn't work the way that it should be working. So this is just repurposed code here. Basically, I want to get the cells in the column, but it's not all cells in the column. It's cells in the column. Cells in the column going either down or up from that. So I just didn't expand this because I don't have any query directions down, which is probably something that I should fix, but I don't have any cards that select things in the column downward yet. So that's why it's not implemented. But here I need to change this to true. But then in here, redirections up, true. But then in here, get cells in column. This should just work. Yeah, because this is going to start in either the top left or the top right, and then just select all the cells down from that. So that should work. Okay, to the right, boom. Let's also do to the left, that works. I will probably need to add some kind of I'll probably need to add some kind of limit to the board size here, but we won't worry about that just yet. Okay, that's working, and then if I have money, I can just unlock all these. So right now it costs 10 blood per cell unlock. Probably will, you know, figure out what a good balance is for that, but I think that's working. So obviously I need to rethink the visuals for this. These buttons are not super, super appealing, super attractive. Let's do this now though. I'm just curious to see generally what this feels like. So I'm going to do a quick little play test. See if that feels good. So again, we're making some changes here. So the board starts, instead of at a 2x2 size, it starts at a 3x3 size now, with the 2x2 opened up in the middle there. And yeah, as you play the game, you can get some blood here. So let's see. So I'm going to transform some nodes into combat nodes here. Of course, it's going to change my artifact. Very nice. Okay, but now I can get more blood from each combat. So I've got a bunch of blood there. I'll work my way up to the booster here. Grab this booster. And now I've already got 20 monies. So yeah, so this is a situation where what I can do now is I could either unlock a cell and put this 1x1, or I could do 2 and put the syringe there. And so now I can already get my build off the ground, even though I haven't encountered a board size increase yet. There's one there. Probably will just completely change the art of the board size increase, honestly. Just do a totally different theme rather than the crystal. Oh, a bunch of horse dung, very nice. It's just keeping my syringe paralyzed, okay. Let's do the board size increase though. Let's go left. Okay. Grab the booster down there. So now the other thing too is I have more use for selling cards as well. Ooh, a jellyfish. Rat. Incense. Apply 7 preserve. Oh, that's kind of a difficult combat there. Chicken 2, cat 2, Stein 5. So here's where I may want to do this. Deal 2 damage, apply 3 poison. See, that's going to require 3 cell unlocks though. Paralyze adjacent cards and heal 4 per paralyzed card. Honestly, I might just want to get the preserve here. So if I sell this... and what? Sell these mandrakes. Am I going to be able to scrounge up enough money here? Yes. So if I do that, now I can... let's just put this over here. Okay, cool. So now I've got some preserve that gets applied. And it's not going to quite help me. All right. Didn't quite help. Sacrifice the jellyfish. Sacrifice a skeleton warrior, I suppose. Okay. That combat was a little bit hard. Go up to the booster this way. I think your game is ready to release. Yeah, not quite, but it's getting there. Oh, I'm already losing, okay. So yeah, one thing I don't like about this is that it's putting a lot of pressure on... it's putting a lot of pressure to save money to unlock the grid slots, or the slots here. I think it might just be too expensive, because I'm not engaging with the alchemy at all either. I was mostly just focused on getting those cells unlocked. So what I could do Let's see. Grow board in direction working. So what I can do is I can change the cost. And I want to update this later as well, but I don't like the input being here, but I'm just going to turn the cost down to 5 instead. And we'll see what that feels like. Because I want the player to like have this tension between, do I alchemize something or do I just open up the board to place more cards in? Could you maybe tie unlocking cells to alchemy in some way? Yeah, I could do that for sure. I think one thing that I could do is, I mean, I could play around with some things too. Like I could say every new row that gets added is more expensive, and then maybe the alchemy, there's a way in alchemy to maybe get some free unlocks or to reduce the cost of some of them. Okay. So that sells for 4. So what I could do is I could already do this. I could sell this and then I can unlock that and put the mausoleum key there. I do like that because I can already get some more cards on the board early rather than having to wait until I find a board size increase. Grab the booster here. Okay, so I've got a couple of legendaries here. Let's get rid of this. Applies 6 fire per card that applies fire. Unfortunately, I actually don't think that... I don't know... I do want to add legendaries, but... Look at all these field mice. I mean, I could just YOLO it. I could do this and that. And then lead ingot. Okay, unfortunately, this is the legendary. But now, here I have some options here. I can do this. Unlock those two and put the funeral pyre there. Okay. That's feeling pretty good. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Just annihilated those mice. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome back. You have so many mechanics. How do you manage that? One step at a time. That's really, I mean, that's really the only answer. You just build the game, you play it, you test it, you get feedback on it, and then you come up with new stuff to address any problems. That's basically it. In terms of like the card mechanics though, it's just, you know, I've got a whole system for how status effects and damage and shielding, and so coming up with abilities is just a matter of combining those different things in different ways, making certain things interact with other things. All poison abilities of adjacent cards are guaranteed in alchemy outputs. There's another lead ingot. Oh, wow, I'm getting a lot of lead ingots here. Let's grab this booster. I wonder if it's worth going to the shop. Ooh, another mausoleum key. Maybe I'll do this obelisk here. I think I will do some more combat nodes here. Do some more combat nodes and see what that does. Okay, perfect. So I can hit this one and this one. That's going to give me a massive amount of money. And then I should be good to go into the shop. Oh, that's just a healing board there. I have to fix that for sure, but let's do this one now. Ooh, this one's actually giving me some trouble. It's all right. All right, into the shop. What do we got here? Bleed. Let's get rid of this for now. Let's get rid of that. Kind of want to alchemize these things together. Oh, I was going to put... Maybe I don't need to make it legendary. Let's just do this and see what happens. Deal 5 damage per adjacent weapon. Deal 5 damage and heal for the damage dealt. Apply 3 bleed to self. Heal enemy for 5. These are too big. Deal 5 damage per adjacent weapon. So if I do this... and then purchase that, and then unlock those and place that there. Okay. Because that's a weapon, that scythe there. Let's see what happens. I need to get back up north though, so let's go this way. Oh yeah. Okay. The 3 bleed to self is kind of annoying, but that's all right. Okay. Ooh, all preserve abilities of adjacent cards are guaranteed in alchemy outputs. Removes 1 negative ability from alchemy output. I'm curious how this works, because I have a negative ability on this mausoleum key. I actually don't know if I support this. If I just throw this together with honey, is that just going to give me a clean mausoleum key? It does not. Okay, that doesn't work the way that I want it to then. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Honey should remove pre-existing negative abilities. Okay, what else can I put? These are all alchemical reagents, so just hold on to those, I suppose. How much money do I have? Do I want to hit the shop or another combat here? Probably hit the shop. Randomly apply 4 poison or heal 6. Heal 2 for allied card execution. Whenever an enemy damages preserve, deal damage equal to preserve damage taken. Oh, okay. I think I want that actually. Grab that. There's a grow board here. Interesting. Okay, boss time. Was the honey supposed to remove all 3 bleed debuffs? It looked like it did remove one of the 3 bleed debuffs. There was only 1 debuff on the input card, so it should have just removed that debuff. Anyway, let's see what happens. Okay. All right, am I going to win this one? I don't know. Yep, I'm going to win. Woo, that was a close one. Awesome. I will say this is feeling really good. I love the tension between, do I alchemize something or do I free up some space? When I was in the shop there and I realized that my mausoleum key was dealing damage per adjacent weapon, and then the shop had a scythe available, I was able to scrounge up enough money to free up enough space for the scythe and then purchase it and throw it in the board there. So that's feeling really good. I like that a lot. I think that's feeling much nicer. It feels a lot more like I have a lot more freedom to create a build. And also there's more pressure, even more pressure to engage in combats, right? Because a common piece of feedback, at least from the first playtest, was people just avoided combat to grab all the upgrades. But now, since combat is really the main source, well, maybe not the main source, but it's one of the main sources of getting blood, and you need blood to alchemize, and you also need blood to unlock these cells, you're probably not going to have a good time if you're just trying to go for upgrades. At least that's the goal anyway. So I want it to be possible to avoid combat for longer stretches of time, but also I want to pressure the player into willingly engaging in combat so that blood can be harvested. And I think it's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. Can we playtest it next week? JK, maybe not. I want to do a playtest maybe at the end of December or early January, I think. So that will give me, I'm going to be gone for the first couple weeks of December. So that gives me what? The remainder of November and then like the last half of December to get all this new stuff polished up and get some new content in and more balancing and whatnot. But yeah, I definitely want to get some feedback on these new mechanics. A field mouse? He's so cute, look at him. Anyway. Can I do anything with these cards? I have 1 blood. Let's get rid of this one. There are so many symbols in your game, I can feel something. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to fit either the frog or the skeleton on here, but maybe I don't need to yet. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage. It's all right. Ooh, a guillotine. Apply 2 bleed per enemy minion card. Let's do that one. Oops. Gotta do this, sell this. Okay. Now I'm starting to run out of space on my board. Let's just sell this guy. Sell that. Okay, I need to get some alchemy done, so let's see if I can get some blood and also... I'm gonna visit this checkpoint and then hit this artifact here. What do we got? Oh, this would actually work good. I only have 1 minion on the board. Yeah, let's take the iron gauntlet. Go to the obelisk. I need blood, but let's see. Combat nodes, reagent nodes, booster nodes, all nearby booster nodes will offer 1 enemy faction card. Let's just do combat again. I need the blood. Okay, got rid of my shop, very nice. And it put 1 over there, cool. That's alright, I'll just fight this one. How is Legendary supposed to work? For my playtest, it seemed to only lock in a card and not actually upgrade it. Maybe I just misunderstood. Yeah, Legendary, all the inputs for alchemy will be added to the Legendary card. So if you're just making a card Legendary, but you're not adding additional stuff to it, then yeah, it just locks a card. But the point of legendary is like you want to put a bunch of cards together and make them legendary, because then that card will have like all of the abilities. I'm actually going to try to do that very soon here, once I get a little bit more blood. There we go. So I've got 30 blood now. Yeah, so I think what I want to do is I'm going to take the Skeleton Warrior, and let's take the Guillotine as well. Put the lead ingot there. See, that's not actually great. I need more options. I don't want to do this just yet. Let's grab this booster down here. Turn cooldown is reduced by 1. Let's put it on that guy. Okay. Grab this booster here. This will give me some more options. I might spend the money to get one additional option, so I have more to work with. I don't want that. We'll grab these reagents and then we can see what we got going on here. Give me a Death Orchid. Oh, it gave me 2. Very nice. Okay. So now here's how the alchemy is going to work. So I'm going to take this and put it in there. That's going to increase my alchemy board size a little bit. I'm going to put the dowsing rod in there. We're going to put the skeleton warrior in there. We might as well just throw the candle in there, throw the fire in, or the gold in there. Then we'll do the lead ingot. We will do crit chance. Might as well throw this fire in there too. We're just going to make a beast of a card here. $28. All right, here we go. Look at that. A frog with 3 turns. Deal 6 damage, apply 4 poison, apply 4 fire, deal 6 damage, apply 4 fire. And it's got a 60% crit chance and a 2x multiplier. Yep. Oh wait, it doesn't count as a minion though. So my Iron Gauntlet is not going to take effect. That's all right. We're going to take this. Alrighty. Let's see what this does. Hello, Rookie Tookie. Welcome. Always lurking. Yep. That's a powerful card. Oh yeah, it's just blowing it up. That's ridiculous. I don't know, I might be able to just sail on to the end now. That's doing a lot of damage. Obelisk. I think I will just skip the obelisk event, because I don't want it to change this artifact. Gain 25% lifesteal but take 2 damage every turn during combat. How much damage am I actually doing? I'm actually not doing that much damage. Maybe we'll just grab all ritual cards, drop 1 tier higher. It's boss time. Now I see, yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. I might actually die here. Nope, I didn't. I have a very limited health pool, so if I don't kill the thing fast enough, it's probably gonna get me, but I was able to... Oh, see, like that. I just died. So, even though that card is very powerful, I have neglected upgrading my health, so I'm kind of vulnerable. Might as well just go all the way, see if I can win this. Converts all preserve applied to fire. That's not really that useful. I have a lot of money now. So yeah, still need to balance out the end game a little bit, I think. That is a tier 5 grimoire. Let's alchemize that with some smaller cards here. Increase turn cooldown by 5? Are you kidding me? Apply 5 poison to self. Increase turn cooldown by 4. Well, we'll just go ahead and take the scarab here, I guess. Hello, Michael. Happy Friday to you as well. What do you think a good work hours is? 40 to 80? I don't know. It depends on the person. Depends on the person. I don't know how to answer that question. Maybe reagents shouldn't have tiers. Well, they have to have tiers because the tier affects the output tier of the card. So like this tier 6 gold will transmute into a tier 6 card. This tier 2 death cap, or a tier 3 death cap, it doesn't do it. That affects the tier of the output. So if you put a tier 1 with a tier 3, then it's possible for you to either get tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 as an output. Now, maybe the Death Orchid shouldn't have tiers, but the reagents, their tier and turn values affect the outputs. So like some of these reagents, like this death cap is 14 turns. So even though it guarantees that you're going to get all the poison abilities, you could end up with an output that has 14 turns, right? And it's like, that could be a little bit of a downside to getting all those guaranteed poison abilities. I think a lot of the high blood at the end is due to the node cost not scaling well enough. For example, if you get a high level pack with +1 tier, you could just sell it all for massive blood gain. Yeah, I think that's probably part of the problem. Also depends if you have kids. 120, yeah. Depends on the person is the correct answer. You're right, yeah. 0 work hours best. Using reagents to upgrade early game cards, you could. Upgrade with nodes is a great strat late game. Oh, yeah. Unless the work is fun. Yeah, so a lot of the blood is coming from these higher tier. I did nerf the sale price, but I might just... Because right now the cost for selling cards scales with the tier of the card. I might just remove that. That would be an easy fix. So if the card is a higher tier, it doesn't sell for any more than a lower tier card, which doesn't really like make sense, but for balancing purposes, that might be appropriate. Let's do this one, since I don't need blood. Okay, so I gotta work my way to that booster. Do you use a notes app for game dev? I use Obsidian, yeah. Oh my gosh, I got destroyed. Uh-oh. This may be my end here. I am totally out of resurrection abilities now. Okay, good. Yeah, I have 50 health, so that's not great. Am I gonna lose right here? Oh no. Oh no. I might lose right here. Oh, I made it. Okay. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Let's do this. Booster nodes. Okay. Let's spend the money to get the upgraded ones. Oh look, 2 enemy banners. Those don't help at all. This is a tier 7. Oh, I should probably hold on to these. Oh, adjacent minion. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I don't have any minions on the board. Okay, all right. That was a fail. Let's try it again. Archangel Melzahel? No way, dude. Okay. Okay. What am I going to do about this? All right, let's just test really quick. Let's see if I die. Ooh, very close, but I got it. I don't know if I'm gonna beat the boss. That is a very buffed Archangel Melzahel, though. But he is getting the benefit from the Iron Gauntlet now, so that's good. You could scale it like 10% per tier instead of 100%. The problem is the blood cost is so low, and I'm dealing in whole integers, that if I say, oh, the card sells for 3, and an increase of 10% would be 0, right? Maybe it's +1 per tier. It is +1 per tier, yeah. Can we res with blood? I'm gonna rework how the resurrection works, I think. That's funny, yeah? I'm in danger, yeah? Also, my first playthrough, I had no idea what the pre-death scene meant. There's no indication that you have to sacrifice only 2 cards. Yeah, I have to work on that. Bug or feature? It's a feature, yeah. I mean, I might exclude the enemy boss cards from the loot pool, but because I went to the obelisk, one of the obelisk powers, it changes 2 nearby nodes into boosters, but then the boosters will offer enemy cards instead. So you can loot the boss cards from there. I might exclude that or just keep it because it's kind of fun. All right, let me grab those reagents and see. Oh gosh, what am I gonna do here? I guess we'll upgrade that one. Bosses have less chance. All poison abilities, adds the following abilities, a guaranteed alchemy output, all preserve abilities. I need a board size increase. I have not gotten... Oh, there's one there. Oh, I can't get there, though. And this obelisk is pointless, so I might as well just skip it. All right, let's see what happens. Oh. I don't think I'm going to survive this. I don't have enough health. Well... Since you're a necromancer, you should only get enemies cards that you already defeated during the current run. Yeah, I could do that. Gotta think about that some more for sure. Let's see if I can just chip my way through this. I did it. I won. Okay. That feels better, generally speaking. I do need to get the blood values in check for later in the game. I don't know. I may just not add additional sell price to higher tier cards. I may not do that. I may not do that. I may just make every card a flat sale price based on the amount of cells that it has. I'm also wondering, so more difficult combats give you more blood, but I also wonder if that's a problem too. I almost wonder if I should just not scale the blood gain at all and just keep it even. So like combats will always either give you, you know, whatever, 4 to 6 blood or 4 to 8 blood or whatever. And that's just true throughout the entire game, no matter how difficult the combat is. I think it would make balancing a little bit easier because then the blood gain is predictable and it doesn't scale up. Because the problem with the scaling up blood cost is that nothing else scales up in cost, right? So like the alchemy doesn't scale up in cost at all by any sort of multiplier, and the cell unlocking doesn't scale up. The cost in certain nodes does scale up, like the cost at shops and whatnot, but I might just remove all the blood scaling and just make it flat throughout the entire game. I think that would simplify things a lot, and it would also be a lot easier to balance. Does boss have less chance to show up as a card? No, it's the same chance as everything else. My understanding was that the card was 1 blood per tile used, then tiers increased that by a lot. That made big cards the best sellers by far. Has that changed in this build? It has, yeah. I nerfed the amount of... It still goes up based on tier, but it's a lot less than what it was before. But it's still a problem, so I may just flatten out the blood cost scaling. Combat. We'll see. I'll have to play around with that. I think that's definitely, like, that's one of the main problems still remaining, is that it's too easy to acquire the blood should feel like a scarce resource. It should feel like you have to be careful with how you spend it throughout the entire game. I want it to be the case where if you lose a run, you should be able to look back and say, you know what, I shouldn't have spent the blood on that. I should have spent it on this instead, right? Rather than, I've got 500 blood and I lost and it doesn't matter, you know? I like that idea. Just gotta make the shop sell cards for more than what you can sell them for. Right, yeah. And if I remove the tier scaling on the card selling as well, then that should basically always be the case. Anyway, any opinions on how this is all working? Do you like the unlocking the board cells? Do you like that mechanic? I think I think I've already said I like it, but I want to get your thoughts on what you think. Because again, the goal is to give the player more agency earlier on in the game. And so, and it's another blood sink as well. So you have more options now. And I also am probably going to start the player off with like 10 blood or something. So you could either do some simple alchemies to start, or you can just unlock a couple of cells right off the bat if you want to. So all of that stuff is to just increase player agency, because right now one of the main problems with the current build of the game is that you start with a 2x2 board and you have 2 skeletons, and you basically can't do anything until you fight a couple of combats and get some blood. You can't really do much with your build until you get a board size increase, which may not happen for a while. So you feel like you don't have many options at the start of the game. So giving the player more options by giving the player a bigger board to start with cells that can be unlocked, starting the player with some money so that they can either unlock cells or do some alchemy. I think that'll help. The entire game felt like the first region for that blood would be nice. Anything above region 1, blood becomes a general non-factor. Yeah, I agree. Didn't fully catch how the board node works with the board. I didn't see you visit one of those nodes. Oh yeah, so all that does now... Here, I can go up to this one. It adds more locked cells to the board, so you still need to spend money to unlock them, but it gives you more space. So like, I wish in that previous run I had like a bigger board to unlock. I want to skip this because I don't want to accidentally change this board size increase. So if I go here, I'm going to change all this art and stuff again, but I can choose which direction I want to grow the board in. So if I choose left here, it adds another column of locked cells to the left. So it makes my board bigger. I still need to spend the money to unlock the cells, but it gives me more space ultimately, right? And I may also make those nodes rarer now, because before they had to be common enough where you can get your board size increase up to at least 3x3 or, 4x3 or whatever. But now that you start with a 3x3 board, I may just decrease the prevalence of those grow board nodes just a little bit. I think ideally it would be possible to beat the game with clever use of alchemy without ever having to grow your board, but then growing the board is an option that you can take if you stumble across that node, right? I do think the unlocking gives that agency. It seems like upgrading itself is starting to fall off in power. Right, yeah. Sounds way better. It was frustrating sometimes when I couldn't get board increase nodes. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. To be fair, I use the shop to upgrade my board size way more frequently than I use the actual nodes. Yeah, that was basically the main strat, I think, because the shops are more common than the board size increases, but then the shops contain a random assortment of events that you can purchase, and grow board is one of those. So I think that makes sense. I definitely like the direction this is going more. Okay, so the next step then is I'm going to delete this. Start player with 10 blood. So we'll make some, I don't want to do these changes just yet because I'm still working on this locked cells branch here. So I think the next step is I need to update the art for this event now, so I'm not using these ugly buttons. And I also I want to do like a satisfying cell unlock animation. And also I want to do something like hold to unlock the grid cell. So if you click on the board, you don't accidentally like spend your money. So the idea would be like you click here and you hold for like a quarter of a second or a half a second or something like that. And then I want to play like a nice like shattering animation or unlock animation, I think that would be good. That and you get a chance at more cards and artifacts. Shops are my favorite node to visit nowadays, especially if I have a scroll or two. Oh yeah, true. Okay, it's looking good. It's getting there. It's getting there. We're slowly, this is the point of the playtest. It's like we get the playtest out, we see what problems there are, and then we just figure out a way to fix those problems, and we just do it one step at a time. And hopefully, after a number of iterations of that, the game will be in a really, really good spot. So, yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Anyway, I need to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, I don't know, maybe we'll start on some art and animations, VFX stuff for this board unlocking. And yeah, we'll go from there. So give me a 3-minute break. I'll be right back, and we will continue on. All right, I'm back. Still lurking, Neozoid. All right. So maybe we'll figure out the lock animation first. I don't know how I want to do this. So I need to display the cost to unlock a cell. Let's do this. Need to display the cost to unlock a cell. And probably show a little animation as well. I think I have an idea for what I want to do, but we'll see if it actually pans out. Oops, I did this backwards. Let's do this. Okay. Let's just start with this. If EBT is input event mouse motion, we're gonna what did I just do? Let's do this first. Cell equals get grid position from global position. If locked cells, yeah. If board inventory component get locked grid cells dot contains cell, then we're going to say this is kind of messy, but let's just do this. Private vector 2i nullable hovered locked cell. Hovered locked cell is equal to cell, else hovered locked cell is equal to null. Private void hover locked cell 2i cell. Hover locked cell not equal to cell. Oh wait. Hover locked cell equals cell. Tile map layer set cell. What is that? 0 or 1 1 1, right? Oh, it's already 1 1. Okay. Hover locked cell. Clear hovered locked cell. This is probably not going to work. It's probably going to create a bug here. Hold on a second. Hovered locked cell is not equal to null. Let's do this. If tile map layer get cell, does this not work? Get cell atlas chords hovered locked cell dot value equal to vector2 1.1 0 1. Yeah, that's right. And then we're gonna do hover locked cell equals null. That should work. This is a mess. I'm gonna clean this up later though. Can't believe it's game development. Yeah, it's game development time always. Welcome, JKHE. Always good to see you. Oh, but that's not clearing it for some reason. Right, because I need to do this. Clear it first, and then hover it. I don't even know if it's worth using a tile map for this instead of just a bunch of sprites instead. Oh, I need to check if I'm dragging something as well. Oh, it doesn't detect when the mouse leaves the board either. Okay, this is a nightmare. I'm going to need to come up with a more clever way of managing the oh, that changed the wrong color again. Have to come up with a more clever way of managing the input for this board because it's just going to be a nightmare if I keep going this way. That's all right though. We will fix that later. All right, now we're good. Now we're good. So I want to do like a click and hold to unlock these things. But I want to animate the freeing or the unlocking. So I might do something really weird here. So when I start clicking and holding, what I'll probably do is I will reset the tile to just be like an empty tile here, but then I'm going to put a lock icon like instance on it. It's going to be really weird, but I think it'll work just fine because I need to be able to animate it. I need to be able to like shake and apply a tween and change the sprite and stuff, and that's just going to be not fun to do with a tile map. So what I'll do instead is I will, wherever this is, show on file system gameplay board, let's do a new scene in here. 2D scene, we're going to do board unlock. Board unlock cell, I guess we'll call it. And then in here, what I'm gonna do is I'll grab this here. We'll clean this up in a second. Grab this here, remove this. Okay, that'll work. Assets grid, I'm just gonna call this board unlock cell.png. This I actually probably did this wrong. I need this one instead. Okay. Let's just see if I can get this working. Add child node. Sprite 2D. Board unlock cell there. This. I should make this the same size as my cell. Sprite canvas size. 18 by 18. Save that. Okay. Now that's better. Do I want to center it? Maybe I do want to center it, actually. And then we'll change the offset to 9 and 9. No, what am I doing? Not the offset, the position. Okay. Do I want to use an animation player for this? You can just make a scene and place it using the tile map by adding the scene to the tile map. Can still do all the animation stuff that way and create the board the same way you would normally. Make a scene and place it using the tile map by adding the scene to the tile map. Oh yeah, I haven't really used that feature at all. Maybe I should do that, but do you know of it? Is there like an easy way that I can do it? Hello, Jehi. Excuse me. Can you describe your approach to game prototyping? Well, yeah, I mean, I can speak like when I'm building a game jam game, for instance, because that's, you have to prototype very rapidly in that before finishing the game in 48 or 72 hours. So what I usually do is I come up with a concept, just like one core mechanic, like here's the way that I want it to work. And then what I usually do is I actually usually start with art. Like I like to do a little art test mock-up with pixel art. Just draw the characters, draw some environmental things, mostly the characters, just to get a feel for like what it's going to look like, get my color palette situated. Once I do like a little bit of an art test there, then what I do is I pull those little characters into the game and I actually just start making them work in accordance with that main mechanic. So for instance, you know, one of my games I made called Corpse Wizard was this idea that when you died, it's like a 2D platformer. When you died, your corpse became like a jump pad, like a trampoline that you could jump on and launch yourself. And so what I did is I drew the character first, and then I just worked on those mechanics. So get the basic platformer mechanics implemented, you know, jump, collision with platforms, etc. And then get the loop working of like, if I die by hitting a hazard like a spike, then I leave a corpse there, and then that corpse becomes a jump pad. So once that was like the first 4 hours or whatever of development. And so once that was in place, then I could like block out some levels using those mechanics and just see if that felt right. And then, yeah, then you evaluate from there. If it doesn't feel right, you tweak things. If the mechanic is not sufficient enough to carry the game, then you try to come up with another mechanic that would complement it and make it a little bit more interesting. And that's basically just how I approach it. It's the same with this game, with Alchemortis. I started with some basic art, started with the grid mechanics, then built the auto battler mechanics, just set up some very basic like static enemy boards and stuff, and just keep building on, keep adding new stuff, adding new intricacies. Yeah, that's basically it. Tile set, add scene collection, add scenes to it. Okay, so if I go to my tiles, grid tiles, tile set, add scene collection. Is it in here or am I in the wrong spot? The plus at the bottom of the tile sources. Scenes collection. Name. Board unlock cell. Okay. Dude, this UI is not good. Scenes. Gameplay. Board unlock cell here. display placeholder. Okay. So I've got that in my tile sources now. So let me just add an animation player here. So that becomes part of the tile map. So how do I free it? If I just overwrite the tile, does that free it? Or I'll figure it out. Let's do this. Animation, let's just do default. Autoplay. Let's turn on record. Keyframe the position. I've never really used this feature before, so let's figure out how it goes. Okay, very basic animation. It doesn't need to be pretty. You can cue free just like normal. Okay. Hello, Jagged Daytona. It's time for game dev once again. Yes, it is. So now I need to detect a click and hold. Let's just spawn the cell here. So tile map layer dot how do I spawn the, can I just do, I don't know how to spawn it now. Create scene tile. No, that's not what I want. Source ID. Tile set source identifier, set source ID. Okay, so does that mean okay. I don't know if set cell is what I want here because I can't get a reference to the thing then. Source ID, let's try 1. Atlas chords is vector 2.0. Oh no, maybe source ID is the, yeah, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to spawn a scene and get a reference to it from the tile map with code. Tile set source. Are these tile set sources? Atlas chords. Identifies a tile alternative in the atlas if the source is tile set atlas source and the scene for a tile set scene collection source. So the way I'm reading this is that I'm supposed to set the source ID to 1. The atlas chords is 0 always, and then I need to set this to 1 because that's the ID of the scene. Let's see. I believe the source ID is the ID assigned by the scene collection, so it'd be 1 in this case. Gotcha, okay. Well, let's see. I still don't know how I'm supposed to get the reference to this thing, though, out of this. Oh, I don't have enough blood. Okay, that is creating the scene. Does it just free it automatically then when I override it? I wonder how this works internally. If I go to my remote scene tree, main run manager, game UI, play container, nope, drawer UI. Player board. Tile map layer. Does that actually create a scene underneath it? Oh, it does. Okay. And it does free it when you override the tile. Okay. So I shouldn't get a direct reference to it then because I shouldn't get a direct reference to it because it sort of manages the life cycle for me. If I change the tile there. Interesting. And it looks like it's spawning it in the center of the tile as well. So this offsetting that I did is actually wrong. Now it's just completely broken, but that's probably... Oh, because I'm not actually unlocking it. Right. Okay, so... See, the problem here is I need the reference to the thing because I need to know when it's finished playing its animation so that I can unlock the cell. So I still don't know if using this tile map layer scene is the proper way to do it. I think I'd rather just spawn the scene myself and manage the tiles myself. It's an interesting feature, but I don't know if it's going to give me everything that I need. Goodbye. I'll just spawn it myself. But I'm glad I did that because now I know how to use that. But I'm just going to spawn it myself. So let's see. Copy UID. Yeah, I'm going to need to do all kinds of stuff in here. So I got to handle all kinds of edge cases. Like what happens if you're holding it down to unlock and you move your mouse off of it? It should probably cancel. I need to keep track of the time, which is okay. Don't worry, I'm back. Yeah, I was really worried, Emerson. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're back. TileMapLayer.addChild. I probably will want to add a script to this. Board unlock cell dot position is equal to tile map layer map to local. I'm going to need to redo this positioning again. Let's see if that works. Oh, I don't have enough money. I was really placing it in the center. Also, it didn't work. Oh, I need to do this one. It needs to be 0, 0. This is just a mess. I'm just experimenting with it right now. So map to local returns the center position. Oh, it does return the center position. Cool. Okay. So that's going to just, I'm not freeing that either, but anyway, that is working. So I'll spawn a scene and then I will play an animation on that scene. And when the animation is finished, I will unlock the cell. But I need to handle a bunch of edge cases, like if you move your mouse off of the cell while you're holding it down, then it should cancel. If you release the mouse button before the animation is finished, then it should cancel. Yeah. I'm going to need to clean up this input. I don't like this input being here either, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah, so start work on board cell unlocking. That's going to be it for the stream, though. I have some errands to run. I got to eat some lunch and then go and do that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciate it. If you want to support my work, you can wishlist Alka Mortis on Steam. The link for that is in the description below. And also, you can join the Patreon. There is a couple of paid tiers on Patreon. The top tier is like a pre-purchase of Alka Mortis, so you'll get a Steam key when the game launches, and your name will also be listed in the in-game Alka Mortis credits. Also, you can join the Discord. That's free. That's linked below. So check all those links out. Appreciate all of your support. Double quarter pounder with cheese. Not today, no. But anyway, thanks all everyone for watching. Very much appreciate it. And I will be streaming again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you there. Have a good one and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.